What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube Barber Academy. How's everybody doing today? Thank you guys all for joining me. We got an interesting show today. I just want to talk about some of the side stuff around barbering that not a lot of people really think about. And before I do that, I want to talk about the hottest topic in the NFL right now, and that would be Patrick Mahomes. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I know there's a lot of Chiefs fans that could be watching. That came from they came out of the woodwork. You couldn't find a guy with a Chiefs jersey a couple years ago, but they're out here now. So with that being said, I'm gonna tell you guys that I absolutely agree with you guys. Patrick Mahomes should be playing in this game. If he wants to play, it should be his decision. I think it's kind of ratchet that you know it's somebody else's call. Like these are the biggest games in his career. These are the big games that everybody plays for that hopes to get to him. So I want him there. I want him front and center for what's about to go down. And I'm going to tell you guys now. If we win, I might cry. I believe it's like 26 years, maybe 27 years. And the last time we won an AFC championship, it was actually against the Chiefs. So hopefully, with any luck, we have the exact same luck. But if we lose, it was a great season anyways. Can everybody hear me okay? Everything sound good? Everything's doing good? What up, Jay Cool? Good to see you. What up, Really the Barber? Indy in the house. What up, D? D Banger? Boom, boom, boom. All right, then. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm having a little sound difficulty with that. But anyways, as long as everything's going good on your end, I want to say that I know that a lot of you guys who watch this channel, a lot of you guys are maybe thinking about making that jump towards doing barbering. And I wanted to give you guys some reasons why you might take that next step. All right. And I'm be honest with you guys. I'm beat up. All right. I've been cutting hair since 5 a.m. I wound up staying an extra hour. We never stopped. I didn't get any chance to do nothing. I literally jumped in the truck, boom, straight to the house. And I sat down in front of this computer just so I could be with you guys. And it is awesome to know that I don't got to go. I don't got to do anything else tonight other than make sure that I'm here for you guys. And I'm sorry for the last couple shows that we missed. You guys know the Bills are like the biggest thing, other than barbering. They're like one of the biggest things in my life. And I want to just say, when they're playing, there would be no way that I could be able to be here and talk. You guys don't know this, but I lose all motor functions. I scream like a lunatic. I need room to pace. All kind of stuff needs to go on. So, but I was actually thinking about some subjects around barbering that the barbering career doesn't have to be your end all be all. So let's backtrack a little bit. Let's back it up just a little bit. All right, so this is what I wanted to say. I know what it's like to wake up every morning and go to a job that you absolutely hate. And you feel underappreciated. And you know that the longer you stay, things just aren't going to get any better. And you know this. You're looking at some companies, maybe a 3 to 5% raise. Maybe they give you 10% raise. And you look at what you're making, and you look at what you potentially could make, and all you can see is this endless amount of time that it's going to take you to kind of get to some of the goals that you might have set for yourself in your life. So when I wake up in the morning and I go into the shop, there's this sense of freedom. And it doesn't matter if I own the shop. It just so happens to be that I own the shop. But it didn't really make any difference whether I owned it or whether I didn't. When I wake up in the morning and I go to do what I want to do, I feel totally, totally free. I'm free of any other burdens. I know for a fact that my business actually is conducted in my chair. And it doesn't really make a difference what goes on outside of that. So even when you own the shop, your business is conducted in your chair, and that's where you're going to generate the majority of your profits from. So if you guys are actually thinking about barbering as an end all be all, I would encourage you guys to think of it a couple different ways. All right. So a while back, I started a business, and a lot of it's got to do with you guys. I began filming and editing videos pretty much for YouTube. Prior to that, we used to film videos for skateboarding, and I was like all into skateboarding, always filming that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell you guys this. I have really come to respect and realize the amount of connections that can develop in the barbershop. And it is just unbelievable, some of the stuff that's been happening, because I really feel like if I was to just say start a business where I'm editing and filming videos for people, the work will speak for itself. To some degree, I'll have some word of mouth, but the barbershop is just such a central hub for you guys to not only cut hair, not only free yourself, not only make money that you can actually support your family. And for me, an important aspect in any type of work is I want to know that my potential is, we'll say, more limitless than at a job where I'm just getting exactly what they say it's going to be. Every hour is going to be the same. Every week the paycheck's not going to really differentiate too much. Maybe I get some overtime, maybe I don't. But if you actually take the leap to being a barber, and then you realize, like, this doesn't have to be the end all be all. You make that leap to become a barber. You work on your skills. You harness your skills. But you're now in this, like, central hub where, like, all these people come and they just and they just talk, and you just get to know so many people, and you find yourself in a nice position here where whether you do real estate, whether you choose to do and really any other little offshoot business that's not in direct competition with barbering, there is just this unlimited amount of things that can go on for you. So it's really, you guys remember when S-Craft Blends was on the show, he got me kind of thinking about that. He was talking about how his first shop, it was a client. He just asked him something like, how much money would you really need to get your own shop? And S-Craft Blend was just talking, and he just said, yo, you need to pay for this, and you need to pay for that. And he named a number. He didn't say what it was on the air, but he named a number, right? And the guy said, oh, you know what? Why don't you come out in my car? I'll pay you out there. He walks out, and the guy wrote him a check and said, go buy your own shop. Go do your own thing. Now, that's the type of craziness. Obviously, that's not going to happen for everybody. But that's the type of crazy stuff that can really go on for you in this business, because you just simply don't know who you're going to run into. And a lot of times, you don't even really know who you might be talking to. There's been a lot of situations that have happened to me, even many of them recently, where the person who I'm cutting is someone much more bigger, much more important, or much more, than I ever would have expected. A lot of these people are super down to earth, and when they see you on your grind, when they see you working hard, when they see that you're a good person and that you're just trying to do right, these people are there to help you out. Smash that like button, you guys. We got 31 people in the room. That's all good. Not as many as usual, but I got my White Claw here. Tomorrow, I'm going to say something. There might be some tables. There might be some tables getting broke. Luciana said, why are they slow at replenishing their stock? I'll give you the certifiable answer. I qualified a year ago. I've been doing my own thing with all that COVID and all. But what I've learned is I don't want to work for anybody else. That's the one thing that I'm going to tell you right now. That's what really sets you free. And even if you don't own the shop, that's the thing. Is like, you as a barber, you go and you work for a shop. But generally speaking, your business is your own in your chair. Most barbershops are not going to really advertise for you specifically. They're going to facilitate the ability for you to grow. They might go a little bit above and beyond in some other departments, but by and large, it's going to be up to you to develop the repeat business. And you're the one who's going to have to grow your chair. And mostly, that's actually done by just being there at the times you say you're going to be there and not leaving early and putting in that grind. Because there ain't a single person on this earth who's going to be able to just walk into the barbershop and have just a solid book and everything flying for them instantly. So at a certain point, there's going to be a sacrifice, but the difference is it's your sacrifice. It's your choice to make that sacrifice. It's not the boss says you got to go clean up the toilet, or you got to go do this, or you got to do that. Like, that's not how this is. This is you make conscious decisions to grow your own business because you know at the end of the day, it's you who will suffer if you do not. You know, that's exactly what I'm saying. All right, here we go. We got $100 tip. Jay Blends. That's what I'm talking about. Just started at my first shop. Got a $100 tip today. It really blew my mind. This is the type of stuff that can happen for you. Now, Jay Blends understands that $100, a lot of people don't make $100 in 20 minutes. I mean, there's lawyers out there who are struggling and they're not even making that kind of money. And you just don't know what's going to happen. And as long as you are doing the right things, you're a good steward of your business, I have a hard time believing that you're going to fail. Now, I understand that some of you guys are in different countries and you're in different states that might have some types of restrictions or whatever. But, you know, if that's the case, if you can move, if you can do something to get yourself in a better place, in a better position. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys right now, Florida is like the spot to be. Not only are like tons of barbers that are extremely talented moving to Florida in what seems like groves, there's also just tons of people moving to Florida too because it's just a great place to do business. I mean, period. But if that type of stuff is out of the realm of possibility for you, you know, I'm sure there's somewhere you can move. There's something you can do. There's some step you might be able to take. So let's also look at, like, Florida is a little bit different than some of the other states, but let's also look at this. What I'm suggesting to you is, let's say you make $20 an hour. I'm just gonna throw out a random number, and you're making $20 an hour, but you don't see a huge potential for growth, but you're making enough to pay your bills, and you're getting by, right? What do you really got to lose? In the state of Florida, you can get your barber license in 600 hours, and realistically, you can do that 3, maybe 4 months. Now, I know in this age of like instant gratification, this isn't as simple as just I'll go online, click this button, and boom, I'll just print out my license, and then I'll go to the shop. There is going to be some struggles. There's going to be some learning. There's going to be some stuff that you got to do. But at the end of the day, I don't think you're going to regret doing this. It's going to provide you a lot of opportunities moving forward. We got an $80 tip too. Let's hear this story. I see. All right. I got an $80 tip yesterday and $100 last week. I was a little discouraged before that happened due to trying to build up my clientele. But what encouraged me to keep at it, no matter what. Let me talk on this for a second, because there will be times in the shop when you're slow. And when you're slow, it's very easy for your mind to wander, and you start looking for reasons about why you're slow. So you start saying to yourself, like, maybe I'm just not good enough. You know? Maybe people just don't like me. Maybe they don't like my shop. Maybe they don't like the owner. Maybe he's making trouble. Maybe, you know, and you just start to like circulate all these crazy ideas in your head when really probably the most obvious real answer is the question, you haven't been there long enough and people don't know you're there. You could have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, you're going to struggle. I mean, and that's just all it is. So it's just a time, a consistency thing. And the more time you put in and the more consistent you are, not only do people who are not going to see you there, the customers who do want to come to you are not disappointed when they show up and you're not even there. So that's kind of the thing there. You know, you don't need a license to open a shop in the UK. I'm seeing here. I feel lucky to live in the UK because, as far as I'm aware, you don't need a license to open a barbershop. Well, that's how it is. That's a fresh cut, by the way, Jay. Cool. It's not in the United States, you don't need a license, and I can't speak for every state, but you don't need a license just to open a barbershop. There's a lot of people who own barbershops, but if you want to work at the barbershop, that's where you're going to need a license in most places. Now, I'll tell you from experience, if you are just an investor type, right? let's just say that you have no knowledge or no interest in cutting hair, but you think you're gonna open a shop, and you have some money to bankroll the operation. The whole thing sounds good. I'll tell you this: it's a really hard way to go, because being in the shop, working at it as you own it, is where many of the actual advantages start to come into play. Because we got a first thumb down. How about that? But when you are in the shop and people are coming in and they're getting their hair cut, you're able to make your money, and hopefully you have some employees that are productive as well. And generally speaking, what they do is they might get you a little bit in the green on your profit. They might get you a little bit up there, but they're going to pay your rent generally. The rent for the building, and maybe they get you a little bit of profit. But when I tell you that the profit, if I wasn't to work there at all, I mean, the profit would be so much less. And the main advantage comes in when I'm working there, because then it's like instead of paying that percentage that you had to pay at other barbershops, or that rent that you had to pay, and there's nothing wrong with paying those things. Like that's just the way it works. That's the way business works. But you just have this opportunity to make money without having all that other overhead. So when you work at a shop, that's really when it starts to all come together with you. So Low Rig said a second week in barber school. Just got a job as a floor guy in the barbershop. And you know what? That's awesome, man, because that's taking a step towards what you want to do. Now he knows that sweeping the floor, or getting the guys lunch, or doing whatever the guys are in need of at the time, he knows he's not going to make a bunch of money doing that. But he doesn't care, because he sees that ultimately he's going to learn from these guys. He's going to activate the principle of reciprocity. When you start to do favors for people when you're not expecting nothing, then they might turn around and say, listen, man, you want to cut my hair? I'll walk you through it, man. They might turn around and say, listen, man, is this a situation you struggle with? Let me explain how I view this, how I get through this. And they're going to take him under their wing, and he's going to be able to grow further than he would have trying to go alone, or trying to just watch Mr. Eddie Barber's YouTube channel, But a lot of people have left some really, really nice comments over the past few weeks. I know you guys seen that new video on the Dubs. Kelly, I like you already. She said, "Go Bills." Late to the chat. She's late to the chat, but she shows up and she's showing some love for them Bills. So let's go, Kelly. But so that's what I'm thinking. And like, so for the rest of you guys who might be out there that are cutting hair, that are doing business, that do have the license and everything set up, maybe you're struggling, maybe you're not. But I'm going to tell you guys something. Start a little side hustle. Because when you really look at the amount of clients that you're going to start to get, all kinds of stuff is possible. So after a while, you're going to know people who work on your car for super cheap. People who do electric. People who do plumbing. Good contractors. People who can practically do anything, paint your house, whatever. And you start to know all these people, and you're going to start to network with all these people. Oh, my thumb up is gone. I'm doing all right. My thumb up is gone. Got 21 likes, 37 in the building. Let's go. Oh, you guys, feel free to shoot me over your haircuts if you want, to masterprimetime@gmail.com. We're gonna do some critiquing, and we're gonna just kind of try to help you guys out with getting your things going. And y'all want me to do a giveaway? I think I'll do a giveaway. I promise you guys, I'll do a giveaway before this show is over. Luciana said, I will support the Bills if they make it to the Super Bowl. Oh, what's up, Juan? I know she's over here. Juan is my number one hater when it comes to, he's hating on my Bills big time. God, I hope we're still in this. I'll be crying tomorrow. If we're still in this, I'm telling you, I might break a table, cry. I won't know what to do. But I'll be just over the moon. But so I'm going to tell you guys now, though, if you guys are in the shop and you are cutting hair, whatever it is that you're really passionate about, start your little side hustle and start trying to work on it, and just start to kind of network with your customers and just see where it goes. Because I know for a fact that I wouldn't be doing the type of video work that I'm doing and stuff, I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for the networking opportunities that the barbershop has provided me. This is how crazy it is. I got people coming in who don't even want haircuts to talk to me about potential video work, or they need photo shot of a unit, or they need all kinds of stuff. And I'm just seeing that this is like a really powerful thing. And it doesn't really matter if it's not video, if it's not photo, maybe it's real estate, maybe it's whatever it is. But I think it makes sense to try to make yourself into more than just a barber. And I'm trying to sit here and I guess I'm trying to say this, like, barbering is what you're doing, but it is not who you are. It can't be your sole identity. Each and every one of us is more than just a person who sits behind a chair and cuts hair. I get a lot of joy from sitting behind a chair. I don't feel no type of way about sitting behind a chair. I don't look at it as a negative thing. But I feel like I have more to offer to the world, and I know that each and every one of you guys are parents, you guys are mothers, you guys are fathers, you guys have other things in your life that are more important than barbering, or than maybe how you feed yourself. But at the end of the day, if we go back to when my state closed, we closed, we were closed for like a couple weeks, you know, and right at that time, you know, I was a little worried because I had just bought the shop. I haven't had it long. Boom, they close it. No money's coming in at all. All right, I don't work for a corporation. There's no help for me at all, at least that I'm aware of at the time. There was some PPP loans available, and that got down. But I actually had the video thing going at the time. And I thought to myself, like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I got to make some money. I got to get these bills paid. I got this family to feed, and the shop is totally shut, and no one's paying me nothing. Thank God. Thank God I had the video work, because I leaned into that, and I actually did quite well during that we were closed for about 2 weeks. During that 2-week period, I had total freedom from the shop, and I just went gangbusters at my other business, and I figured out a way to make it work. So thank God that I had something. So just give yourselves the ability to grow and the ability to do other things as you do some hair on the side. We got a couple critiques, man. I'm gonna break them out. I'm seeing some of these emails come in now. Feel free to shoot some over, and if you guys got any questions or anything at all, I do want to mention one other thing before I do this critique. The new Ultimate Blade that Gamma just sent me, it's unbelievably good. I mean, I'm not gonna. All right. So you guys know, and we all know, that Gamma is trying to take down the crown from the Gold FX. And everybody knows the Babyliss Gold FX is an excellent trimmer. All right? It's an excellent trimmer. And when you get down to it, I think a lot of people are recognizing that that's kind of the new Andis T outliners, or whatever people were gravitating to back then. A lot of people were detailer guys. You had Andis guys and you had wall guys. These guys were using detailers. And then Andis created the Slimline Pro, which is probably the best thing going. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dreyer. I appreciate it, man. I'll give you the air horn. Except I can't hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear the air horn, but I can't hear it. But yeah, so anyways, basically, Gamma's been working on their blades. They've been working on a lot of things. They've been trying some different formulas and stuff. And they sent me a new blade for my trimmer, and it was so good. I mean, I really can't say that the Gold FX was any better than this. This is about as good as it gets. I knocked out some designs. I tried it on all kinds of different ways, and it was really, really hitting. And I had it on my hitter. And earlier this week, I got a comment saying I couldn't afford the hitter, so I bought the Proteges. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys what, a little secret. There's just almost no difference if you get the Proteges and the hitters. They're a little bit cheaper, and I don't think they have a USB charger on it. Which I wanted to show you guys this real quick. Hold up, you guys want to see? I'm working on this video, so don't make fun of it yet. I'm not ready to show this to the world yet. I'm just working on the fly here. But I got a video that sort of shows what they just released. If my USB drive is working. Boom. But yeah, so basically they're going to give you guys something that you can do magnetic charging with. Check it out. Oh, it's working. All right, so y'all see that? Boom. I'm still working on this video though, so don't make fun of me. I'm telling you, it ain't complete yet. That's the blade. That's the blade right there. Got the Gamma Ultimate, extra sharp, something like that. And that blade is just, whoo, whoo. Oh, y'all see that close up? Y'all see that close? That's the probe lens right there. That's the probe lens in action. And I want you guys to pay attention to something. I got this zero gap. You guys can see where the tooth is. See how skinny that tooth is? That thing is actually cutting so close. I knock out every skin line with this. And it does not bang the guard. That's something that Gamma put a lot of work into, and you can actually see the arch that's there. If you zero gap these pretty seriously, it's actually able to cut without banging that guard. I don't remember what else is in there. All right, that's just a little preview. I'm still working on that. I'm not 100% happy with the way that video's together yet. I'm still working on it. But you guys seen we got the magnetic charger. So what they're basically giving you is they're giving you a little the magnet, and then it's the other end of it goes on the unit you want to put it on. So if you had the hitter, you just plug that right into your micro USB, and boom, you can magnetic charger. And the nice thing about it is you could take the magnet and you could charge your Prodigies. You could charge your hitters, and I guess the thinking is we're going to go down that road. Now, I want to give some credit where credit is due. Campo Rican, who was on the show last week or so, I don't even remember, but he actually sent me a cordless fast feed like 5 years ago, and 5 years ago that actually had the magnetic charging in it. It was like no one had it yet, no one. And that was what was cool about it. No one had it yet, and I had that first one, and it was just super cool. So it really seems like Gamma's putting a lot. Like if I was all these other companies, right, and I'm not Gamma, I would look, and I'd be like, yo, Gamma's giving people a lot for their money. They're continuing to try to improve. They listen to barbers, and they really care. And y'all know I'm sponsored by Gamma, but yo, I got nothing but respect for this company. And if I didn't support them, I certainly wouldn't have stuck around this long and continued rocking with them. Like I really do use all their stuff. I really think it's great. And if you guys choose to buy anything from Gamma, you can use my code Eddie, and you'll save 10%. So that's the thing right there. Oh, it was buffering. That's what's going on. I got a little buffer. I'm wondering where people are going. It looks like it's working. Is everything good? It looks like it's working. Is everybody good? It was buffering a little bit when I played the video. Before I went live, I forgot to put I usually put the router like right here. Wouldn't think it'd make a difference. Y'all know I got that DSL. Your boys got to spend some more money on the internet, right? All right, let's get to some of these critiques. Hopefully my feed's coming through without too much issues. All right, so the first one that came in, we'll go to Emmanuel. Emmanuel is 17 years old. I don't know how long he's been cutting hair for, but here we go. So we got one photo. I like that it's a close-up, man. He's not trying to hide nothing. Boom, second photo. Let me slide that up a little bit. He got a picture. I don't know if that's his focus or if he screenshotted it or what it is, but I'm gonna tell you what, this blend is this blend's on point. Emmanuel, how long did it take you to get this cut down? I'm curious, because I'm looking at I'm looking at it, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of mistakes here. This looks really nice, and it looks like he might be circling some of the bumps or whatever. That's probably not your fault, man. That's probably not your fault. This type of stuff happens whenever you can't use this. Listen, man, listen, Luciano, I know you're not happy about this, The stock is going to be replenished soon. This has been a hardship. I'll give you guys the same excuse everybody and their mother has already heard a million times this year. COVID. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. But I'm telling you though, they did get set back a little bit with the whole thing. But at the end of the day, they're gonna start replenishing their stock. And you guys got to realize too, Gamma had no real idea of how these things were gonna go when they made these products. They felt they were good. They felt they were great, but they just didn't know how many they were going to sell and stuff like that. And then boom, this whole thing had to happen. So that pushes back stock and all kinds of things. But listen, man, I'm 100% with you, Luciano. I wanna see some of these come in. Okay, so he said he's been cutting for a good 3 years, and that's Manny 10K. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what, Manny, you're good, bro. You know what you're doing, man, and it shows that you take pride in your work, and that's pretty awesome. So I hope you're staying busy wherever you are, and I'm sure you are, man, because it looks like you know how to advertise, you know how to take the pictures, you know how to get it going. All right, this is Musa. Would appreciate some feedback. Musa Tucson. He's sent stuff before. I probably said his name wrong. I hope I didn't, but these are the two photos he sent me. And I'm going to say right now, that blend's looking pretty good, man. And I love when the hair is like combing straight back and real curly like that. It's a style that I really like. And if I was going to critique anything, it kind of be hard because your hand's in the way a little bit. But maybe a little shear over comb. I'd be splitting hairs here, man. I think this is a great cut, and I'm not even bothered with that one. Let's go over to this one here. This one here, I don't think this is a bad cut. I just don't like the angle that the photo's on. But I like this beard. You did a nice job on it. You put a little bit of work in it. You got the line looking pretty good. And a lot of people probably would have taken the beard in a little more here to try to deal with that little patch that he has there. But I'll tell you this, I'm kind of glad you didn't, because I think it's better this way. If anything, I would just enhance that patchy area, let it grow a little bit, something like that. But I like the fact that it was me and my commercials, right? I like the fact that he skipped this hair. This is actually something we should all take note here. Wow, I can really blow this up now. Look at that. But this guy's hair don't really grow here, and I like the fact that he didn't try to push it in all the way, and he didn't try to make it perfect there. I like the fact that he respected the patch. And this is perfect time for little enhancements. Bam, put a little something there. Snap your photo right after. Any info on the Gamma Dubs? The Gamma Dubs are supposed to be out, I believe they're saying beginning of February or end of January. That was the latest I remember hearing on it. And I'll keep you guys updated. And if you guys follow my stories on YouTube, I know I don't post that much, but if you guys notice that I post the stories, I was thinking maybe I could start making updates for that type of stuff on my stories, because you could just like see like, hey, I got word that they're going to go for sale pretty soon, because I know what's going to happen with the Dubs. A lot of you guys might not even get a chance to get them, because everything that Gamma pretty much puts up for sale, it flies. It really does. And, it's just like that. So I'm just curious, man. Those of you guys who are in school or went to school, what is the price that you guys paid for schooling? Because I'm seeing some of the comments here. Eddie, I was thinking of enrolling for Barber here in Florida this year. They charge $6,000. And is that for a restricted license, or is that for a master license? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, $6,000 is a really nice deal. The school I worked at, it was I want to say between $8,000 and $10,000. There was a couple things you could do to lower the amount that you would have to pay, such as showing up and guaranteeing them that you'll do certain things and being a good student and all that type of stuff. That was something you would have to do. But I think that's a really fair price. I mean, $6,000, you could, theoretically, you could pay that back pretty quick. Pretty quick. Low Rake said, dudes in Duval pay $14,000 for the full license, $7,400 for a restricted. Now, I don't know how important it is to you guys to get the full license anymore. I mean, the more I think about it, the I'm grateful to have it, and I do use color a lot. But I mean, if you're not going to be doing color, it's not really the end of the world if you get the restricted barber license. And it's not like there's anybody standing behind your shoulder like watching you every single time you use some color. Like, oh, gotcha. Jay Blends, 20K. He paid 20K. 3,700 in Orlando. Y'all need to go to Orlando. Mm-hmm. Restricted. I'm growing a beard and I can't find good videos that show a good technique. Good technique for growing a beard? That's all right. We'll talk about that. I can talk about that in another video for sure. I paid 11.5 before the hours dropped in 18. See, Michael's in that position I talked about. You guys remember when I made the show talking about how they dropped the hours? It just seems a little unfair for people who went to school for all those hours. They paid that additional price tag and they wound up, with the same license. Now, the one thing that I'm curious about, and I don't know the answer to it, and I don't even know who you could ask for this, but I am curious about this. Let's say that you have a restricted barber license prior to the change and you went to school for 1,200 hours in the state of Florida. What is your reciprocity when you go to another state? Are you certified at 1,200 hours or are you now certified at only 600 hours? Because if it's 600 hours, that would seem really unfair because they put in 1,200 hours. So at least if they give you 1,200 hour credit, at least there's something, Okay, this is from Jacob Casanova. Looks like he did about a number 1 maybe on the sides and a little bit of shear work on top. Let's see if I can find another photo that shows a little bit more. These are big photos. He's taking these with like a nice camera or something. All right, so yeah, we got a good lineup. The line looks pretty good. Little bit of a dark area in the very back center of the head. Doesn't look bad at all. I don't think any client would ever say nothing. And this is a pretty good cut. I really wouldn't complain about nothing here. In the front, it looks like he did this with a liner, and he did it into wet hair. Now that's a little bit of a problem, and I'll tell you why. If you're gonna line up, I can just make it small like that. All right, yeah. If you're gonna line up somebody's hair, if you do it when the hair is wet and you cut it with shears and then it dries, you're probably still going to see it shrink and it maybe change a little bit. If you're going to do it with a set of liners, what I would probably tell you to do is blow dry the hair forward and make sure it's dry before you do it with the liners, and then you can get it to be like a little straighter. It'd be a little bit easier for you in that situation. So fully saturated or fully dry, it's certainly going to help. Now let's just talk about this one side real quick for a second. All right, it looks like this blend looks fine. And most of the shops, no one would ever really complain about this, nothing like that. But I would just tell you, if you're doing your original, debulking area, I would just say go ahead and put on a number 2 in that parietal area first, and then come in afterwards with, say, like the 1 1/2 and then the 1. Because this kid's hair, it's not a very high density and it's kind of fine, and it's going to show like every line very similar to like Asian hair or something like that. It's gonna be pretty tough. Let's check out some of these. Los Angeles, California, 20K. That's a lot of money. New Mexico, he's saying 15K. Let me ask you guys this: Would you move? Would you move to go to barber school? Just out of curiosity, would you go somewhere else? Now let's just take some of these comments are telling me that you can go to school in Orlando for $3,700, and some of you guys are paying a lot more. I mean, you guys are paying 5 times that. Some of you, 16.7 in South Carolina. Would you move to go to barber school? I got waxed in Jacksonville. He said I got waxed in Jacksonville. Yo, let me tell you something about Jacksonville. A lot of people get waxed in Jacksonville, but not many of them leave with a license. There's probably someone getting jacked in Jacksonville right now. So that's a rough city. It is. All right, so let's see. So she got the master though. I see. So SD Davis, she got the masters at least for 16.5. So that seems pretty fair. But it seems like these prices are just all over the place. Is this like a little wild to you? Like, I mean, I'm sitting back looking at this, and it just seems like whatever they could get, they're getting. Oh man, here we go. Here we go, Alex. I'm gonna hit the DJ horn for you. We need to send this man some money. But I'm gonna tell you what. If he paid 26K, let's just say theoretically that Alex left Texas, moved to Orlando temporarily, he would have saved so much money. I mean, let's say 3,700. She said 3,700. Let's say it's 4,000. I mean, think about that. He could have went and lived there for practically a year and probably rented something small. The whole thing would have been paid for, and you might have found a place that you enjoy. Just to go to school. Shoot, he says I'd move to Florida. A guy in my school is from Chicago. He came down to live with family. He finally came down to live with family. 18,000 last time I checked San Antonio. Wanda inspires you. She's like, no way. I love California. And Dennis, looks like you were in the service, man. Thank you for your service. Uh, Tacoma, what is that? Washington, Wyoming, Washington. Uh, 15K. So yeah, I mean, it looks like some of you guys, it looks like some of you guys would move, but I was just curious about that because I'm seeing no Mostidi music. They definitely do not transfer the same way at all. I'll tell you like how it worked from New York to Florida. Basically, when I went to school in New York, it was for 1,000 hours. When I moved to Florida, they were like, listen, here it's 1,200. You only got 1,000. You can either A, go back to school for 200 hours, or you could go through a ridiculous amount of crap. A lot of stuff I had to send and do, but no schooling. I just had to retake the test. If you retake the test, you get one try to retake the test, and if you fail, you're going back to school for 200 hours. So that was what it was when I did it. But if you look at it, you come down here, you move away from wherever it is you're from, you come to Florida, and you get your barber license. Now you are certified at, say, 1,200 hours. So I would look at your state. Like if you were really considering moving to Florida, when you leave, if you have a full barber license, you're going to wind up going back to your state at 1,200 hours. So every state has different hours, and some of them will give you some time served. Like you was in prison, they give you some time served. So if you had years of doing hair in Florida, some states will give you that opportunity to say, oh, okay, well, we see that you've had your license for 5 years. 10K in Arizona. Vincent said 1,950 hours, and somebody wrote in Greece. In Greece, it's free. Huh? How's that work out? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'd like to sit here and tell you some terrible story about how much money I paid, but I went to school in New York, and New York offered a cosmetology license during high school. So it was like one of those like half the day vocational school programs, and that's what I did. And it wasn't easy to do that at that age because I was in a school with like all women. And, I don't think a lot of people would have been comfortable to do something like that. But I knew what I wanted to do, and I viewed this as a good way to get the license. So I actually never wound up paying for the license. So that was the really nice thing from the state of New York there. All right, so Steve-O, this is my guy right here. Steve or Potato Man or Eddie's Army. He runs the Eddie's Army Instagram, and he's been putting in work over here. So check this out, y'all. That's a good fade for a mannequin. I gotta give you credit. I have done a lot of fades on mannequins. How much work have y'all put in on mannequins? Because I've done, I've lost count. I've done so much work on mannequins, and it was just a good way to get yourself started without messing anybody up. So one thing I do hear in the comments a lot is I don't have anybody to practice on, man. I want to get better at this, and I just don't have anybody to practice on. And that's something that a lot of people say. And what I'm going to point you guys to is get a mannequin. Don't shave it bald right away. Practice some of the longer haircuts. Work your way up. Boom, 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 boom. And then you're in business. You got a little more comfort under your belt, and at least you don't mess up somebody's hair. All right, D Banger says I did this haircut last week, and let's see, is this the only one? I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. D Banger, I think this is a fresh cut. I think you put a lot of work in on the edge up. It looks pretty good. I would just tell you that I think this haircut would have popped a lot more had you went all the way down to skin right here. And I don't know, it looked like you might be cutting hair at home or something. I see the rocking chair in the back. And you might be somewhere it's cold because I also see, looks like a heater. Now, we don't use heaters here. Actually, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. It's been kind of cold. It's been getting down into the 60s. And I've been turning the heat on. I don't even play with that, man. I'm not even trying to feel none of that. But, no, it's a good cut, man. It's a good cut. I would just tell you, if you can get this down to skin, or if you can't get it down to skin, finish the edge up. But like I said, it's a good cut. The rest of it, I don't think it's too bad at all. Yo, cosmetology license since '91. No barber license, and that's why I follow you. I like that. So that's what a lot of people are saying. They need more practice. He needs more practice. No, Pat, I think I just got your I got your email. All right, so I'm working my way up the list here. So okay, this is cool. We got a couple from here. This is Nasir, Nasir. I might be saying this wrong. So here's our before, and let me find a good after for you guys. All right, so we got before and afters for a couple photos. All right, let's see here. So before, and we got after. All right, we definitely got a couple things to talk about with this cut. So I'm gonna get rid of the before. We all seen what that looked like. I'm gonna slide this one right over here, and let's talk about what we could do to improve for Nasir. All right. So what I'm gonna recommend to you is, it looks like this was down faded. That's just a guess. Was that a down? Would you say that was a down fade? Because the reason why I could tell this is a down fade is because the consistency from where the skin began to where the other lengths are beginning. This is what can happen in a down fade sometimes. Everything comes out smooth. Everything looks pretty good, but we don't have that nice buttery blend in all areas. Thank you, Uproar. I appreciate you, man. Man, you guys are very active in the comments today. I'm trying to keep up with them all, man. Boom. So this is what I'm talking about, though. So what we need to do is we need to watch our steps. We need to be super careful through our steps. Put a good skin line in that's on both sides, that's consistent, and work your steps in order without skipping steps or jumping ahead. That's just a guess that he may have put that in and done a down fade, but that would be my advice to you, man. We gotta make sure that you put your steps in order, and we follow our steps down. So I was actually thinking I was gonna make some videos to go through my 6 phases that I talked about in plenty of these videos, and I was thinking about making some actual uploads that were just like directly to the point. What is phase 1? Boom, boom, boom. And I think a lot of you guys are gonna spend some time on phase 4, where the blend is. That's probably the thing that I think most people get confused with. But once you start to understand the blend, it's like a light switch, man. It just comes on, and you'll start to really understand how to make it all line up, how to make it all look good. All right. So I'm over here with I got Spirio. We'll go to this next one here. Let's see. We got a couple cuts here. Man, this dude looks like a guy I taught in barber school. Look at this. I just like the way that the top of his hair is. All right. This is Spirio. Still haven't gone to barber school. Been cutting half of a year. Let me see here. Be cutting for half a year. He's 18 years old. All right. And I just say like one thing that happens is when you use the trimmers on the side of somebody's hair, when you're just starting to put in designs, because it looks like his blends are coming together a little bit. He's got a little bit of practice in. You can see that. Now, when we touch the trimmer down, I got a clipper, so I'll show you with this. So when I touch the trimmer down to somebody's head, the more I hold it out like this, right, the skinnier the line's gonna be. But when I start to angle it down, this line's gonna get thicker because the cutting blade is touching the scalp or is touching close to the scalp. And what it might take out, no one knows. So when I go in to do a design, I just try to make sure that my angle of attack is a little less, say, flat like this and more kind of out like that. Now that way, when I come in to attack it, the results are a lot more predictable, and I don't wind up with a line that's a little too wide. But overall, this guy looks like he's got some pretty tough hair to cut. So let's look at one more from Spirio, because I feel like I'm beating him up on that one. So he's got some work. All right. So for cutting hair for half a year, it's clear that he understands how to fade. And if that isn't evident in this photo, I don't know what is. I just think that this client's beard is a little weak, personally, which has nothing to do with Spirio. Y'all agree? You got this guy, one of them guys who can grow a beard all his life, and it ain't gonna fill in for you, man. I'm sorry. You were just born with this disability, and you need to shave that thing, because I think you would look better as a client. But the cut's fire. Spirio knows what he's doing. He's rocking, and for someone who hasn't been to barber school or anything yet, I think that's actually pretty good. All right, so D Banga. We got this one here. This cut looks pretty fresh. I can't really. Oh, I can blow it up some. Oh wow, I can really blow it up now. I just updated Ecamm before I came live again on here. But all right, so we got a little cleanup work to do in the parietal ridge. This could have been fixed with some shear over comb, and I think that would have blended it in well. And it looks like not a bad taper, not a bad taper. Overall, I think that probably could have been helped a lot with just some shear over comb in the parietal ridge area, and maybe the blend area, but the blend's not too bad. I'm sure this guy was happy with his cut. This is just me, and I don't want y'all to feel like I'm nitpicking you, because I'm just trying to come up with things to help you to grow. So this is Pat Coiney. I'm probably saying that terribly. I'm sorry. All right, so we got a before and we got an after. And we got pic collage. I don't know much about Pat, but because they didn't send anything in the comments here. And it's very hard to judge this cut. Very hard to judge this cut. The only thing that I would say, just based on what I can see in this photo, is the shape of this beard is kind of like a banana. And I might have rather seen like a downward I mean, my beard's all messed up. This is a terrible example, but I would have rather seen like a downward curve and then the swoop. But like when it comes all the way down from like right here and it's just this one big swoop, I don't know. It could be a personal preference. But I can't tell how good or bad the fade was with that. Like, don't be afraid to share it, man. Don't be afraid to show it, because at the end of the day, something that really stuck with me was a post I seen from Marvy Marv, which I wish I could get him on the show, man. That dude is just so funny, man. He's got all the jokes, man. He really does, and he comes up with new stuff all the time. So if you guys ain't following Marvy Marv, but he just said one day, "Are you afraid to post your photos because you're advertising to other barbers, or are you advertising to clients?" And I couldn't agree with that statement more. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of us hold back and we don't post stuff. And it's because we want to show quality. We want to show quality of work. But not every canvas is gonna reflect the type of quality or the type of hard work that you put in. So I just think that if you're in a position where you're trying to grow your clients, you might want to be posting more. It's okay if there's a mistake in your cut. The client's not really going to know. You're going to know more about cutting hair in your first day of hair school than they'll probably ever know. Most of them. Fresh cut, man. I feel like I've seen this cut before, like or maybe it was a different person, but I feel like I've seen this cut before. But this looks fine, man. I mean, I like this cut. I like the design. I probably would have like lifted this line a little bit in the back and almost made it like a small S. I think that would have been kind of cool. But overall, I'm not unhappy with that at all. I think that's a fresh cut, and that's from Sherelle Daniels, who is really the barber. That's really the barber. So, oh, he even did the eyebrow slash. Y'all see that? Let me blow that up. I could tell somebody slashed his eyebrow. Whether it was really, maybe it was him, but you know what that means. He killed somebody. No, I don't mean that. I'm just joking. I don't mean that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna do one more. And then that's it. One more, and that's it. All right. Ali S. Thoughts. I love your videos, and let's drop this one in, and then I'm gonna do a giveaway. Y'all. Hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. All right, so I don't know how long Ollie's been cutting hair for. He sent me 2 photos. I'll move them in here, and we'll start with the first one. There's a lot to unpack here. All right, I know that you guys are going to say something about the lines being so wide, and that's true. That let's just go back to that same thing that I talked about. Is we could reduce the width of the lines by simply tipping the trimmer out a little bit when we make those cuts, when we make those touches that we want to do. But if we talk about the haircut, aside from the design, we talk about the haircut. The top, I could tell the top. We got to work on that top. We got to get that top looking a little bit more even. And even if the top is better than it looks here, I would advise you before you post this type of stuff is to at least style this hair before you post it, if you're going to post this. And secondly, we need to get back to our guidelines here, and we gotta make sure that we're following our guidelines. We gotta make sure that we're cutting, and when we cut the top, you guys know that I like to use the Mohawk guideline down the center, and then I like to work it in sections little by little, as we talked about in phase 3, which we're going to return to. So a bigger recap coming on that. But as far as the blend goes, this blend isn't all that bad. It really is really not too bad. A little share of a comb probably could have straightened that out, and we're good. He said, "Trainer leads me to the wolves, brother." I know, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to give you guys exactly how I feel, and I'm trying to talk. And you guys are really active in the comments today, and I'm kind of like back and forth looking at this here. Yeah, he's right. He said it might be a self cut. Yeah, it might be. So that was D Bangs. Yeah. Agree, bro. I wanted to fade. Let's see here. I wanted to fade how he wanted it. Sorry, only pick I have. I'll find more next time. That's what I'm saying. I mean, come with that. Come with that heat, guys. Come with that heat. I appreciate all of you guys for hanging out and for doing this. And well, I think there's only one more thing left to do, because this is the fastest hour of media. It's already 6 o'clock, and it is time to go. So, with that being said, about to write a number on this board. Not this number. I don't even know what this number is. I probably shouldn't even erase it. All right. So, just out of your purview. You know what? No, I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna put it on a piece of paper. Put it on a piece of paper right here. Hope y'all ready. What do I even have? What is this paper? It's a film list. I don't need this no more. I already shot this video. All right. So I'm writing down a number here, and I'm gonna hold it up. Wait. Oh, you guys are in so much trouble. All right, let's do it. We got how many people in the room? We got 50 people in the room. So pick a number 1 through 50. First person who writes it wins the giveaway. What am I giving away? I don't even know. Let's see. Let's see who wins. Let's see what they need, and we'll take it from there. But I got to thank my sponsors. I got to give a huge shout out to Gamma. Got to give a huge shout out. So 1 through 50, write it in the comments. We're gonna see who wins this, and then I'm gonna hold it up and I'm gonna show you guys the number. So good luck to anybody, and we'll see who winds up winning it and what winds up happening. Yo, you know what's funny, Minor? Minor Perez, he wrote 23, and that was actually the number I almost picked, but I changed it right before I wrote it down. Oh shit, Steve O got it. How did you know, bro? How did you know? Y'all know why I picked 17, right? Because he's gonna be the number one player tomorrow. 17, that's my boy Josh Allen, boy. He gonna ball out. I hope he balls out. Steve, you let me know what you need, buddy. You got the W right off the bat. Look at that. Look at that. We didn't even have to go that far. We didn't even have to go that far. Let me go back. Man, I can't believe that. Shout out to Steve. Steve operates the Eddie's Army Instagram, which I promise you there was no collusion there, man. Like, I love Josh Allen, man. That's all that was. That's all that was. But let's see here. I'm looking for somebody. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. The person who sent me this photo, D Banga. I'm gonna send you an electric shaver, girl or guy. I'm sorry. D could be either way. I'm gonna send you an electric shaver, all right? Because she sent me this photo, or he sent me this photo. This photo here, it needed some electric shaver, and I can only assume that you didn't use the electric shaver, possibly because maybe you don't have one. So I'm gonna send you an electric shaver, all right? And Gamma's gonna be mad that it's sending something to the UK. Yo, y'all use Michael Jordan's number like that over and over again. Look how many 23s there were. All right, we're done. Stop writing numbers, y'all. We got, I'm trying to get down to where the comments are actually happening again. It's the first person. And the first person was Steve-O. I got a good control on these right here. Look at y'all writing 17 10 more times. All right, yo. So congrats to Steve. Congrats to D. If you're still in the room, D, let me know that you see that. The reason why I picked this was because I seen that this needed a little bit of electric shaver. All right, yeah, it's a girl. Okay, I didn't want to say nothing just in case. All right, she's like, yes, thank you, and I'm a girl. Okay. All right, so that's what's up, girl. I'm going to send you an electric shaver. So all you need to do is just email me your info, and I'll have Gamma send one out to you as soon as they're available, if they are back ordered. You can pick between the Uno or the Prodigy. If you don't have one, I would tell you to just get the Prodigy. If you do have one, you might want to try out the new Uno. And Steve, just get with me. Tell me what you need. And I'll make sure that we take care of you as well, because it might look like a little collusion there. The guy who wins, but that's why I write it down. But it might look a little bit, might look a little collusion there, because he runs the Eddie's Army Instagram followers, and you know what? He does this all out of the goodness of his heart, man. So shout out to Steve. Ali S is still throwing out. He's still throwing out the 41, man. He's throwing up. He's throwing up a Hail Mary. Ollie's throwing up a Hail Mary right now. So, Serio's got a good question. I'm going to answer it, and then I'm going to ride out. So, if the client wants you to use the straight razor for a skin fade, what do you do if the client has a mole under the hair and you don't know it? You use your thumb before you shave it. But don't let the client dictate to you how to do the work. Just let the client tell you what they want. Let it be your decision about how to get it down to skin. And if a client insists that you use a straight razor, as some people do, use the box foil first, and when you straight razor it, nothing's actually going to happen, but they'll have that peace of mind. All right, you guys. I really appreciate you guys for checking me out, man. Thank you guys for hanging in there for the whole show. We had a good group of you guys in here. I really appreciate you. And yo, go Bills, go Bills. Hopefully these Chiefs fans, boy, whoo, y'all already been there once. Just move out the way for the new kid that's on the block. And I'll be hollering at you guys real soon. I will be back. I got fire upload coming up, and I'll be dropping that on Thursday. Beyond that, I will be back next Saturday. And until then, I'm out. Peace. Go Bills. Go Josh Allen, 17.